Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Wait a minute. What is this? Well, Goofy, it's the Magic in the Midwest podcast. The Magic in the Midwest podcast? Whoa. Can we get going here, Goofy? Oh, that's right. I gotta go pick up Maxie from school anyway. Gosh. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the most magical podcast in the Midwest, starring USA Today best-selling author J.B. Michaels and his more successful wife, Ashley Michaels. And now, your host. Thanks, announcer. And man, Goofy came.
I mean, always a great day when Goof stops by.
Yeah, Goofy just, stopped by.
Here.
It's kind of cool.
I feel kind of,
I feel honored. I feel like maybe we were complaining too much. And
I don't feel like that's what I never feel that way.
They sent us no? Okay. So
I just think it means we're great.
Right. It's the 74th podcast of the Magic in the Midwest podcast. It is the first day of autumn here in the Western Hemisphere, in the contiguous United States of America, and in particular the Midwest region of the United States of America. Hence the name of our podcast, Magic in the Midwest. Just letting you know, Ash. Okay.
Right, thank you.
So this podcast is brought to you by Why the F Do I Need Life Insurance? My new book, which is out now, and it's on every retailer available for free.
And it was number one. Is it still
It's number one in 3 categories right now.
I'm not surprised.
It was number one in paid categories, and then I made it free, and now it's number one in the free categories.
Well,
so,
I mean, if you're good,
pretty
you're good.
Cool. Pretty cool.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So we've got another number one new release on our hands. Why the F Do I Need Life Insurance? Please check it out. Check out MrMichaels.com as well for more information on the books of J.B. Michaels, the USA Today best-selling books. So the podcast, we've met a lot of great people, okay, and some of those people are, Ash, one of those people
is Emily. She is a great friend of ours. I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I feel like she's a great friend. And she is also a vacation planner that specializes in Disney and Universal trip planning.
Yeah.
And also Disney Cruise Line. She is super knowledgeable. She is easy to work with, really kind, sweet, and she just knows all the things. So if you're looking to plan a trip, we encourage you to reach out to her. The best way to reach out to her is through email. Her email is emily@magicalmousetravel.com, and she can basically do it all. So book your dining, buy your fast pass, or not your fast passes, your tickets.
Well, you can. No,
right.
Now you will be buying your fast passes.
Now you will be purchasing them, yes. So, dining, tickets, reservations for your hotel, the whole thing, airport transfers, she can do all of that for you. It comes at no extra cost to you. And she can give you a no obligation quote. So check her out. Again, her email is emily@magicalmousetravel.com, and just let her know that we sent you over. Again, guys, she's super great. And I've said this before, but even if you're a seasoned Disney traveler and you whatever, she'll, if you want to support her, you can say, hey, can you buy my tickets for me or whatever, but I'd like to I'd like to book my own dining or whatever. She'll let you have as much control over that as you wish. So.
Right. So today, Emily, magicalmousetravel.com.
She's so great. So great.
She's actually, she's really been really helpful for us and really, great to work with. We've worked with her on a couple different occasions for different things, and she has, been very flexible and also very understanding of what we wanted to do and our goals. So definitely.
I feel like we got to get her on the podcast.
We do. You keep saying that, but you never do it.
I don't know if I've said it a lot.
And then what else? What else was I going to say? Okay. And then, of course, ladies and gentlemen, I think, okay, so right now we're at this key moment in, I think we're at kind of a really interesting time in Walt Disney Company history. Because it never had to face a worldwide, obviously, issue like we're facing right now. So I feel like they've been making a lot of announcements, and those announcements haven't been great. But today we're not going to really focus on those. We're going to kind of get back to why we love Disney in the first place. And frankly, this has everything to do with Walt and his vision of Magic Kingdom Park, and just so this is what we're going to focus on today. Okay.
And Roy's execution of
it. Really, Walt Disney World is really Roy. I mean, to be honest.
Well,
in a lot of ways. Right, he helped get it built. After his bro passed, but it's it's been difficult to, as you get older and you're an adult and you pay attention to things and realities are like kind of set in, it's kind of you sort of I realized you just have to choose your own happiness. I mean, you just do. I mean, a lot of the times you can focus on negatives all day long. Yeah. Because there are many. Yes. I think there's always many.
This is true.
It's never not. There's never not negatives. Mm-hmm. They're really pretty much, if you choose to focus on them, you
will find them.
You will find them.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that doesn't mean you just ignore them and let bad things happen. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is
you can't vent or
feel you can vent things. And you can let them out, and you could talk about them, and even reach out to whoever you think you need to do, or however you want to do it. We're not saying don't face issues, and don't negative things happen, and you should try to either make peace with them or fix them. But it comes to a point where you just have to be like, okay, let's cut this. Let's not worry about that right now. Let's worry about this. I feel like in our world today, the propensity to go negative is so much greater. Like it gets so much more attention. It gets so much more.
Well, it does. It provokes those strong reactions in people and stuff. So
provocative things tend to do well in this age of the internet and the age of just information constantly being, and viewpoint constantly being thrown at everyone. So at the end of the day, sometimes you just have to go, I just want to focus on this, right? Mm-hmm. And it's okay to do that.
It is.
It's actually healthy to do that. You shouldn't always be focused on negative things. So today we're going to bring it back to Magic Kingdom. And I've been trying to think of cool different topics to discuss in regards to the podcast. Obviously, we have gone through all of the parks, all of the dining, all of the rides, all of the attractions. We've pretty much done everything land by land. We'll probably go back through them in different ways at different times. And we've gone through trips that we've taken, and we've gone through all these different topics. And if there was a really big news thing, we would always talk about that. But I'm also trying to think about some cool different ways to, have the topics of the podcast be richer and sort of kind of get back to the spirit of the podcast always, which I don't think we've ever lost. But that is, a love for Disney World. Mm-hmm. So today we're going to talk about the lands of Magic Kingdom, and we're going to talk about which lands have, structures and buildings, okay, and design that fits the theme the best. Okay, so what that means is Main Street the most tightly themed land in all of Magic Kingdom, or is Tomorrowland?
Or Adventureland.
Or Adventureland. Or Frontierland. Okay,
or
so...
Lib Square.
I'm going to get this... Lib Square, yes. I'm going to get this out of the way very quickly. I'm going to try to be as unbiased and objective as possible. Okay? My favorite land is Adventureland. Okay? Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to get that out there. So when we go through it...
The wafting...
Right. Wafting marijuana smells. That's what apparently Ashley thinks.
No, that's what you said. I didn't. I never said that.
Right. Did I really say that?
Yeah, it wasn't that. I would have never said that.
Oh, I would never.
Too pure and innocent.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And then Ashley's favorite is...
Do you even know?
Yes.
What is it?
Main Street, USA. Okay, so I was going to let you talk, though, you know. But anyway,
thank you for
that's why I said that. And you were like, you don't
I was
know.
given permission to speak now. No, well, here's the thing. I do love Main Street, but if I had to pick like an official land, I would probably pick Frontierland. But I mean, it's so hard to pick. They're all great.
They are all great.
They're all great. But yeah, I mean, I love Main Street. Love it, love it, love it.
All right. So
okay.
Let's go land by land here.
Ooh, okay. This is going to be... You guys, we kind of talked about this before we started recording, a few days ago, and we couldn't really settle. We both kind of picked something initially, and then we were talking ourselves out of our choice, and then talking about this, so it'll be interesting to see where the conversation goes.
Yes. Okay, so Main Street, USA. Mm-hmm. Obviously, this is a throwback to turn of the century, United States, right? This is Walt's childhood. Everyone's heard the story, Walt's childhood in Marceline, Missouri, which Walt idealized in his head, right? And it's indicative of many old town main streets, okay? We do have a few of those, around where we live, actually, like in...
Yeah.
There are cool main street areas. Where you're from, Ashley, Geneva has like a very famous, very, very trendy, wonderful main drag.
It does.
It does. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I honestly get a feeling similar to Disney on that street. I just do. I
think it's why he asked me to marry him, guys. Not because of my personality, clearly.
Definitely not.
Because a lot of our dates were on Third.
Yeah.
In downtown Geneva.
Yes.
It's charming and lovely.
It is. It really is. So Main Street USA is, a throwback to that. There's carriages, with horses and, a trolley car and all of those things. And then it has City Hall. It has Tony's Town Square Restaurant, the Main Street Bakery, the Plaza Restaurant, the Crystal Palace, and then, of course, the huge Emporium, okay, when on the left side of the street when you're walking in towards the castle, and then Uptown Jewelers on the other side, and the Chapeau on the other side. And then, of course, the confectionaries there, and it has, like the cool turn-of-the-century... World's Fair, 1891 World's Fair design to it as well. So, and then in the windows, there's like Macy's windows things where like they have characters and they move and stuff for like different times of the year. There's all the designers, Imagineers, architects, corporate executives that helped build Disney World are showcased in the windows, okay, of this cool Main Street USA. This like kind of, like I said, idealized version of it. I don't know, Ash. What do you think? Does Main Street USA's motif fit like a Main Street?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, this is one of my favorite parts of the park. But I think if you're, physically on Main Street looking at the buildings, you're not inside the shops. It's iconic. I feel like a lot of people love the feel of Main Street. Now, I'm not going to include the fact that you're walking towards the castle, even, because I don't feel like we can count that.
Right.
Plus, it doesn't really actually technically fit. But I love the feel of like small town USA. I know there's there's
a barber shop.
And that's the thing.
There's a glass
from the
blowing
inside,
shop.
and this isn't like a ding on it, right? Because this is just the way Disney has to operate. If you walk into the Emporium, it's ginormous and it keeps going. Like that feel of what looks like a little shop on the outside, like several of them next to each other. When you walk inside, it's this giant shop. So
right.
When I'm inside certain parts of Main Street, I feel it the most. So like that little glass shop that they have. Yeah. I feel it more in the confectionery, even though the confectionery is bigger too, just because it's not like one long strip. You guys, of course, I realized that Disney couldn't do like all these little tiny shops. No one would ever be able to go in them. But I do feel like that kind of takes away from it because it's sort of just from the outside in a way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I love it. It also does remind me of Geneva, where I grew up, so there's a little sense of home, but I sort of love that, especially in the day and age of Amazon and all that, which, trust me, guys, we order from Amazon. I'm not, against Amazon or anything, but there is something really special and warm about, Main Street USA.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I love it, but, now that we're talking about it here, I'm not sure it's the strongest throughout, in a way.
Why?
Because of what I just said.
It's not the strongest throughout.
Because you can't really feel it from inside the big shops. You know what I mean? And Disney has to be built like that because of the way that crowds are.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't know why you're acting like that's not a valid point.
No,
you're just like, oh, okay.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. So, I mean, the Emporium, and then at the end of the Emporium, obviously, is Casey's, Casey's Corner, which is a, baseball at the turn of the century was big and the only really big sport in America next to horse racing at that time. So I mean, you just get this this feel. I guess you're right. Inside the buildings, it's less so because the whole left side, the Emporium, is really one giant store.
It has to be. It has to be, and it's fine. But I think when I'm inside the Emporium, I don't feel so much Main Streety.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I think I love the way it looks from the outside and understand that that's what it has to be. But
right. And then, of course, there's the Starbucks, too, which sort of takes away.
It does. And I know everyone loves Starbucks, and they have, I think it accommodates a lot of people and all the different stuff, things that they offer in terms of, allergies. So I feel like I understand why it's there, and I've gotten drinks from there too.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it does. But I mean, I'll even say that even Geneva has a Starbucks on the corner,
right,
of Third, or across from Third, but it's
right.
there because people like it.
Right.
So.
I always did think that the Starbucks sort of because it does say Starbucks on the sign, a little bit. It's not pronounced, but
okay.
I do think that takes away from it. I do. I think that's a good point. Because that kind of.
Would you be opposed to a Starbucks in a different location, not on Main Street, but further into the park?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean.
Is it more because of where it is, on the edge? Yeah,
it's themed. Okay, it's not obvious that it's a Starbucks. You have to look.
Yeah,
because they don't say it's not a normal Starbucks huge big sign.
They did try and make it fit in.
Yeah, they did try and make it fit in, which I was grateful for. I don't know, but for me, it's Starbucks, that's the opposite of Main Street USA.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely the antithesis of the theme.
Right. I get it. I do see your point, and I do agree, but I also think at the same time, like the same point I'm making about
the irony
shops
is Disney's
is
not
that
either.
they have
Right.
to serve a lot of people. It's an incredibly crowded theme park, and they're trying to work both sides of that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I get it. I do.
Yeah, but as far like exterior wise, we're on board with Main Street USA.
I mean,
but-
I could just walk down Main Street and not even. I mean, I love going in the shops. There's a lot. I mean, I love the little glass shop. I don't know what that's called. But it's really cool stuff in there. And then I mean, I love the Emporium and the confectionery. I mean, all of it. And some of it's just walking through and like the smells of everything coming out of the different shops and stuff. I love that feeling. I think it's awesome, and it's the best way to enter the park. I think that's really neat.
It's really, if you think about it, the train station, everything leading up, even off the monorail and going to the park, like everything is sort of Main Street USA motif at that point. And then you walk through
and you got
the train
people outside
station.
selling balloons, and that's it's awesome. I love it.
It is. But we're saying it's just not strong enough to be the most tightly themed, because you say that in order for the nature of the park, well, for me it was Starbucks. For you, it's the nature of the interiors that sort of
understanding
take you
that
away.
It couldn't be that way. Like, I get it that
Right.
it can't be that way. But yeah, I mean, when I walk in, I definitely feel like I'm in this huge store, and that feels very opposite of small town USA for me,
Right. So if we were to rate, like the theme, where would you rate it? Like, is the theme tied to Main Street, that overall goal? Like if you're giving a rating, 7.5, 7.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Now that's aside from like how I feel when I'm there.
You
know
love
what
it.
I mean? I love it. But yeah, I mean, I guess I'm trying to. I feel like 7.5. What about you? What would you rate it?
I would say 7.52. I guess.
I feel like I couldn't bump up to an 8. I don't know why.
I can't go to an 8. I mean, I don't know. It does have a lot of, it really does look like a very idealized, cool Main Street.
It does. I mean,
But I mean, yeah, I guess there are probably better themed areas. So 7.5 is better than average. So
yeah, no, really good.
Yeah. So yeah, all right. Well, then let's move on to the next one. All right, the next land. Well, which way do you want to go? Do you want to go towards Tomorrowland? You want to go to Adventureland? You want to go straight through the castle? What do you want to do?
Let's go the way that we normally go.
So Adventureland.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to Adventureland. Now, Adventureland is like the smallest.
Is it?
It's like Adventureland and Liberty Square are like small.
I guess that's true.
They're small lands, but they're still lands. I guess Liberty Square is probably the smallest. Unless you count. Yeah, no, they don't even talk about the Dumbo area. They don't even really. There's not a name for that, even though it's the
Storybook
Circus or whatever. So Adventureland is okay. Where we're gonna head next. Adventureland is really sort of Walt's like true life adventures series that he did, a series of documentaries back in the late 40s and 50s, and talking about like Adventureland, meaning like anywhere, any exotic faraway place, like whether it be like the Middle East or the jungle or the rivers of the Amazon or the Caribbean, just some place that's far away from a more domestic, like built up area. This, remote locations basically, is what Adventureland really is about. Adventureland, of course, here's what it has in it. It has Swiss Family Treehouse. Has the Magic Carpets of Aladdin. It has the Jungle Cruise. Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room. Pirates of the Caribbean. Which for many years was like... For many years, that was actually kind of... It's in Caribbean Plaza. And it used to be on Plaza. Plaza.
That's what your family.
Plaza.
Plaza.
Plaza. Plaza. Whatever. But that's gone now. Okay? So they don't even really... It used to be Caribbean Plaza. Plaza? What do you want to say?
It's not Plaza.
Plaza. South side Chicago. All right, then dinings. You have the Spring Roll Snack Cart. Sunshine Tree Terrace, where everyone can, it's the Orange Bird. Everybody loves the Orange Bird. You get Dole Whips over there. You get the orange. What's it called? The orange what? Orange Whip?
Oh. No.
Orange Whip?
Swirl?
Orange Swirl?
I think it's Swirl.
Yeah, it's Swirl. Skipper's Canteen is over here, and then Aloha Isle is actually behind.
Can you send me that? Well, the one I'm looking at is horrible and all fuzzy, and I can't find a better one.
Yes.
Thank you, dear.
So, you're an idiot. Adventureland, I'm going to try to be as, I'm going to try to just talk about the actual land itself rather than my love of it. Okay, we've already done that
Will
before.
you get to the point here?
Well, what do you think? I mean, the sign...
I went first last time. So
sign walking into Adventureland used to have a bunch of skulls on it. I think they took the skulls off. But it has, spears and shields and kind of cool, denoting exotic tribes that might be living in the jungles of the Adventureland area. And then, of course, you walk, and it's sort of got a jungle atmosphere. Club 33 has a location.
It does.
Here, secret place. We found it. Go to it. Knock on the door. Demand to be let it know.
Yeah, then that guy started following us.
It was very weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We weren't supposed to.
We found out where it was. Where's my... Yeah,
maybe that means we should get free admission.
We should get free admission. So, admission. Now, the dominant area... Okay, if you count Jungle Cruise as being, a big part of Adventureland, which it is, but it's not, the part where you walk on. So this is
off to the side.
Adventureland is very tightly packed.
Well, because of that stupid carpet
Because
thing.
of the stupid magic carpets of Aladdin.
I'm going to light that thing up. That was severe.
Whoa!
Actually, last time we were there, we ended the trip on that, which was, much to my dismay. But we had a great time on it because Harrison was controlling the up and down part, and he was just really dropping us a ton. And we were, all, screaming, but, laughing.
Yeah.
So it was fun, and I hated that it was fun.
Yeah, it was a good time.
It does, just soak up all the space. It just makes the walkway super thin right there.
It does.
Bottleneck.
Yeah, it really...
Anyways, we've spent a lot of time talking about that.
Yeah, enough.
Okay, so tell me your thoughts on it.
So then we have Swiss Family Treehouse, which is this cool, walk-through attraction.
Is it? I've never been on it. I've never walked through it.
Yeah, shut up, you have. So, as much as you think you know how many drugs you've been on throughout your life?
Wow, guys.
So, you just don't remember it because of the drugs. That could sound really
bad to a lot of people.
Because of the drugs.
Drugs?
Yeah.
Can help, but I'm not talking about, hard drugs. I'm talking about, Excedrin. Guys, I have migraines, so sometimes I take these concoctions of ibuprofen and Excedrin and
she almost killed herself.
No, what?
Her liver is
really horrible.
Her liver is permanently damaged.
No.
Anyway.
I wouldn't say things like that. It's not true.
No, it's not. Okay, so...
but I've never been on the treehouse.
Yes, you have. So the treehouse is cool. Okay. But again, walk through. So you have then you have the pagoda where the tiki room is, and like the waterfall back there. And it's really goes high up into the sky. You have like sort of like shacks set up and to look like shacks, but they're the stores. And then of course you have the Spanish fort area of both Tortuga and then of course the show building for Pirates of the Caribbean. So, and then you've got the Pirates of the Caribbean shop as well. That will count towards that. So, what do you think, Ash? What do you think as far as like, does the theme match adventure?
Here's the thing about Adventureland, and I'm going to try and make a point. I'm going to see if it works. But more than any other land in Magic Kingdom, I feel like Adventureland, like the way you just described it, is supposed to be like anywhere that you would go that would be an adventure. So basically, this is different than Frontierland, that is going to look like the frontier. You know what I mean?
Of America.
This has to look like all the different adventures together. So it's almost hard to have like a super cohesive theme between these different adventures that you're taking. So I feel like that's a really difficult thing to achieve. I feel like it does have a theme, but I think more than like, think about Tomorrowland. There's like purple and blue and it's all futuristic. And then you have Fantasyland that has the castle and lots of stuff like that, where this is sort of like
a smattering.
It is, and it pulls it off really well, but I think it's hard to compare it to those other lands because of, it has, I think, something more difficult it's trying to achieve because of how they did it. So, like the treehouse and the tiki room is different than Pirates. You know what I mean? Like it's all adventure-y, but different adventures. Like take that compared to Frontierland, and it's much easier just to say, okay, this is what this land is. We're going to make it all look like the frontier. You know what I mean? Like it's easier to do that, I think, than what Adventureland has to do.
So you're saying that because of the lack of focus, I guess.
But I mean, I don't feel like it's necessarily a bad thing. I just think it's, because of what it is, you don't just like look at it and think of one thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like one theme. Like, is adventure a theme? Like, what kind of tree is an adventure tree? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you can't really do that, where Frontierland has a very distinct look and color scheme to it. So does Tomorrowland. I think for Adventureland, it was sort of like, how can we make these all come together? And
well, it's very densely packed. There's a lot of
I mean, I'm not saying it's hodgepodge and it's horrible. I'm just saying I think it was probably more difficult to...
This area definitely has more trees, I think. Mm-hmm. You could see on the map that it has more trees, more palm trees planted.
Did you say palm?
Palm trees. Palm, not palm. Palm trees.
Which makes sense.
Which makes sense because it's trying to, I guess... I mean, the overarching theme is a jungle-y area.
It is.
I think
I think that's what it is. Like, they kind of just have to say jungle-y.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until you get to the...
No, I'm not saying anything bad about it. Like, it's one of my favorite places in the whole park, especially at night.
Until you get to the Magic Carpets of Aladdin, and it's not jungle-y anymore. It's like desert, because there's...
See, right? Yeah, kind of...
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
but I don't necessarily think that's bad. It's just in terms of what we're talking about for theme, it's just different.
Right.
Yeah. It kind of
because it sort of does incorporate things from
different
areas of the world.
I mean, I guess Liberty Square does too. Like Haunted Mansion doesn't really super.
No, Haunted Mansion
fit in with Hall of Presidents.
Haunted Mansion, but it does for the area that it's in. I would say
that's true. Like
it's a New England
type
mansion.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. So Adventureland's theming matching the name, right? Adventure. So what would you give it? What would you rate Adventureland? How strong does it imbue?
But I mean,
adventure?
do you take points off because of that? I mean, I feel like the answer is you can't.
No, you can't.
That's fair.
No, it's not. You have to take it on its own terms, right? And then you've
But
got...
I'm just saying Adventureland. I mean, think of the words I'm saying. Like, it's kind of a vague... You know what I mean? The other ones left less to the imagination. Like, it was like, okay, this is clearly the theme here. This, I feel like they kind of had to bring it all together. And I think they did a really great job.
Well, adventure, if we're looking at adventure from a genre perspective, like, if you're looking at adventure, like if you look at, it's always like some sort of journey. It's a voyage sometimes.
Yeah, no, it is.
And then it's also like the Jungle Cruise. The film, is an adventure film, right? And that was basically heavily, based on, Pirates of the Caribbean, the earlier movies, and Indiana Jones. And those are adventure films. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know.
So
maybe
it's like
8. I feel like 8. I feel like for what it has to do, I'd say an 8.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. I think it does. I mean, you do feel, when you're in Adventureland, you do feel like you're in a different spot of the world. Like because it does feel different in there. It's like, this is cool. Like,
and I think all the attractions are perfect for that area of the park.
Yeah, like Jungle Cruise.
I mean, it's a strong part of the park.
It is really strong.
Adventure, Jungle Cruise, adventure.
Right, exotic animals, you
the treehouse, journey, adventure.
Right, yeah. It's a neat place. I would say 8. I would say 8, because it does what it's supposed to. But it is like tight in there. The Caribbean area is well done with pirates and the fort elements. I mean, and India, you do. I feel like it's a lot of browns, a lot of earth tones, versus like the gold and white of Main Street USA.
I would say the only thing that takes away from it is Magic Carpets of Aladdin. And I would say that this is probably the one land for me that the theme elevates at night. I think it becomes more cohesive and immersive at night.
Yeah. And you have the tiki. So, like, you have a combination of island culture, Polynesia. You've got, so you have the island element of adventure. You've got the jungle cruise river element. You've got Caribbean. You've got the desert with magic carpets. You've got... so it does. I mean, as far as adventure, it does do it well. But yeah, I would say an 8 out of 10. The theme, it's very good. I think the theme is very good. But I think it does get elevated at night, like you said, Ash. There's torches. The tiki gods are there. Those tiki, totems that you can stand by and they make noise.
I think it's the land that changes the most
at night.
From day to night, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Maybe because of the wafting
smells
drugs
and the Jungle Cruise at night is great.
Oh my gosh!
But believe it or not, Jungle Cruise at night is closed at after hours parties. Isn't that weird?
That is the dumbest
thing
I've ever heard.
What? Why? I don't know why they did that. It doesn't make sense.
That's so stupid.
I don't really get it either.
I'm ticked.
Anyway, so...
I'm furious.
Furious. So, geez, I don't even know if we have enough time for the next one. Because we're running out of time. But, okay, so we give that one an 8 out of 10. So then we would head over into Frontierland, which next to Tomorrowland, I think has the biggest footprint. Well, maybe not. I guess not.
Maybe we should save it for next time. Just wrap up with something else.
Yeah, we could save it. So, though that's an interesting thought. Okay, real quick.
I don't know, what's your quick thought?
I think my quick thought is, it's interesting, this conversation. I feel like you have to know history and the story behind these lands before you
Well, that's why we're all glad we have you.
Well, it's funny because like, these are all elements of a man's personality, like what he was into. Mm-hmm. Isn't that fascinating?
Right? Like that would be a cool podcast to talk about. Like, what would your Magic Kingdom look like? Like, for Harrison, would it be like
we should do that?
Dino Land. I mean, I know there's a Dino Land USA, but you know what I'm saying?
For Harrison, there'd be like a Dino Land.
Oh my gosh! Just go away. No, but you know what I mean? It'd be funny to be like, what's your Magic Kingdom? Like, what would be your hub and spoke perfect park that you would make of all the things that you love?
I mean, that's
kind of cool.
Yeah, it is really cool. I mean, you've got Main Street USA, which is his childhood. You've got Adventureland, which I'm sure still is his childhood. And Walt liked to go on. He didn't go on vacation that much, but he did
don't you think
for like long periods of time.
But I mean, that's part of what he was trying to bring. You know, it was sort of like, so you don't get to go to,
but we'll bring
wherever,
it to you.
But you get to, you can fly to Florida. That's probably a lot easier.
Yeah.
Than some 12-hour plane ride to go see whatever.
Right.
Right. Same with Animal Kingdom, the safari. I mean, where else can you?
You could see some animatic hippos in 3 feet of water.
I mean, it doesn't get better than that.
I would much rather be on the Jungle Cruise than an actual Jungle Cruise. I mean, it'd be a little scary.
Yeah.
But, so the history, like, so it's like elements of his personality and what he loved and what he was into is in the park.
Like yours would be Electronic Land.
Partially.
Best Buy
Land. Yes.
What mine?
No, mine.
Cheeto Land.
More than. Oh my gosh. Be more than Best Buy Land. Come on, and more than Cheeto Land. I mean, gotta add.
Different kinds of Cheetos.
Right. Doritos.
Just Chip Land. Yeah, just chips.
Chips.
And dips.
Chips and dips. So I think that's what's great about it is that all of this is really it's a celebration of someone's love for the world and different parts of the world and love of history, but also love of the future, right? With Tomorrowland.
I mean, that's amazing. So, look at that. That's how it sounds. It's perfect.
There's lots of really cool elements to this. And I think that really, at the end of the day, that's why, people, there's always that criticism that, why go to Disney when you could go actually do the things that, you could actually, why go to the fake version of it? I mean, it's not really fake. I mean, I'm sorry. I just don't think it's fake. It's real. It's a real place. I get it. You're simulating a jungle cruise. It's not a real jungle cruise. But or going to different countries in the World Showcase. Of course, you could go to those actual countries, which is great.
I mean, I think just to each their own.
Right.
You know what I mean? People love Disney for a reason. People don't like it. People love other things. People love to actually travel to those different countries. That's great, but I
mean, you can go into a Grimm Brothers fairy tale ride in Fantasyland, and then go to Pirates of the Caribbean, in the same day. You know what I mean? You could go to the southwestern United States and Big Thunder Mountain.
You can eat in Morocco and then go get
beer in England.
I mean, to me,
you know what I mean? World Showcase.
That's the dream.
I mean, it's a really cool.
It's fascinating. It's amazing. I think. I mean, it's not for everyone. And the people it's not for, get off this podcast.
No, they're not listening.
Not here. No, but that's great. I mean, we know plenty of people that they don't really have any desire to go to Disney. It's just not their thing, and that's okay. But I think it's awesome.
Well, and I feel like it's a manifestation of imagination, on such a level that we've never seen. I think that's why it's so popular and enduring. Is that it comes from a place that we all have, we all have an imagination. Most of us don't, probably people don't really use it that often, right? But it's there. It's part of who we are. And what's cool about, going to each of these lands and these themed lands, right? It's a theme park. It's not an amusement park, right? It's a very different thing. I think that's, just kind of goes to show you how we live, in a place and in a world where that stuff is possible, which makes you think, geez, literally this just came from the will of a person.
Wait, what? Remember we were watching one of the behind the attractions, and Walt and Roy, like Roy's son or whoever, said something like that, or Walt was quoted as saying like, "Me and my brother, we disagree," but then he was like, "I just
keep on him over the years until I wear him down." Yeah.
Me and JB. You
yeah,
can
a
guess
little bit.
Who is who?
Me. I don't know what that means.
I'm definitely Roy.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Okay, which is great. So
says Walt.
You're also Walt too, though. We have a little bit of both. So I don't know. It's just I just think it's fascinating that it even exists, and it's just impressive all around. So we're gonna deep dive next time into Frontierland, Liberty Square, and possibly Fantasyland and Tomorrowland, but we'll see. We had enough to mine just from this, and I feel like we didn't even get to talk about it that much. Like, we could have talked more. I could have talked about the line cues.
Like, going on and on, though.
The line cues and the, like, those are all part of the theme of the adventure.
It's true.
Well,
and it's hard to compare. I mean, like, what can you really say about Main Street? There are no attractions. There are no line cues.
They were going to put a theater there and have, like, Broadway show type things there, but I don't think the site worked out well enough. Like, it would sink or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Deezer, Stitcher, wherever you listen to your podcasts. I still haven't.
Okay.
I got to figure that out.
I also got to figure out how to get us over to that other platform.
Yeah. Also, thank you, subscribers. If you want special subscriber exclusive episodes,
Our brains just aren't working.
I know, it's really, I
was really struggling today when I was trying to give Emily's information. Like, words just weren't coming to my brain.
Yeah.
This wasn't happening.
Magic in the Midwest Magic in the Midwest podcast .bandcamp.com. For as little as $3 a month, ladies and gentlemen, you could support us, support the podcast, and get exclusive episodes. There is a lot of content available for you, like a ton.
Like, behind
that paywall. Like, right now, you get
how many? Like 50 of
56 or 55 exclusive episodes.
It's a lot.
So please check that out, ladies and gentlemen.
And we would love to hear your thoughts on what we talked about today, so feel free to email us or connect with us on social media and let us know what you think.
All right. From the Midwest. See you later.